Hey guys, I'm Tonya Bowers and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from North Carolina. And today I'm going to share with you a card that I made using the Taco Fiesta stamp set. So I'm going to turn my camera around and show you that card and how I made it. So before I share with you the card that I'm going to make today using the Taco Fiesta stamp set, I wanted to share with you a few other cards that I've made using this cute stamp set. I just love it. I love all of the like fun and punny sayings that are in this card. You have the "You spice up my life," "Your nacho average friend," "Long time no taco," "Holy guacamole, it's your birthday," and then "Spectacular." So anyway, I just love that. The first thing I did was I made some note cards, and all this is stamping and some coloring, and I used blends for the coloring of these. So I have this one, and then a little taco, and the pepper with this "You spice up my life," and then some nachos with guacamole, and then another avocado with the guacamole. So I just thought those were really fun, cute, and those are super simple to make. And then here's another one. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've probably already seen these, but I used one of the Basics 3D embossing folders. I love those. This one especially is my favorite. And then I did a background of the nachos using So Saffron on top of So Saffron paper. And then I did a little bowl of guacamole, and I cut out a chip. Just fussy cut that out and tied some black twine, and then I did my sentiment down here in the corner. And up next is this one. I just did a couple of tacos and a couple of burritos, and I did heat embossed the sentiment. And the stamp set, you probably saw on some of the other cards, has these cute little faces here. So you can, I didn't put any faces on these, but you can always add the faces, and I think they're so fun. And on this one, I did add some of the faces. I used a background of DSP, and then I used some of the colors in this DSP to color in also with blends, the different characters there. And then this one was my simple stamping card. I just used a piece of DSP and just stamped and colored in the faces, and you can see that I made the different faces there. That one's the winky face, and then the smile, and the one that looks surprised. So anyway, I thought those were just adorable, so I wanted to share those with you. The card that we're going to be making today is this one, and I actually made this as a color challenge card, and I never did post it, so I decided to go ahead and share that with you today. I made this fringe behind here, just cutting the paper, and you'll see how I do that in a little bit. And the colors for this color challenge were Fresh Freesia, Calypso Coral, and Coastal Cabana. I had to think about that for a second. But yeah, I loved those three colors together. I thought they looked awesome. And I thought the Piñata would look cute in those colors. So that's what we did. So let's get started, and I'll show you how I did this. All right, I started with a piece of Whisper White, the thick Whisper White, and that's going to be our base. Let's give it a good fold. And then I took a piece of regular, whoops, sorry about that, a regular basic white, and I used one of the stitched rectangle dies to cut that out. I did that ahead of time, so I just cut that right out of there, just kind of lined it up the way I thought thought it should go. The stitched rectangle dies are going to be on the last chance list. So if you have not gotten these and you love them as much as I do, you might want to be sure you get on the last chance list on April 4th and get online and get those ordered, because I'm afraid they might go fast. But this is the one I used for this. Let me see. I have a ruler handy and I can tell you about. That's about a 2-inch by 3 3/8. So something like that, but that's about the size that is. All right, so we're not going to use this quite yet, but we are going to use the inside of it. This is where we're going to glue our or tape our fringe on. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I already cut a few ahead of time. But what I did is I took about 3 of the sheets, and this is about 1 inch by 4 inches. So it's 1 inch by 4 inch pieces of DSP. And I just took my scissors and I just snipped all the way close to the end, but not too close. And it's not perfect. Some are skinny, some are fatter. You know, it's just wherever my scissors ended up is pretty much how it goes. And you might want to straighten up your paper a little bit as you go, because it will move. And you could do more than 3, and I think I did. I did this card also as a swap card, so I made like 15 of them, and my fingers were getting sore, but I did on some of them do more than 3 at a time. So you can do that if you wish, but you certainly don't have to. All right, so then you have your fringe pieces. And then the way I adhered these, I am a green glue girl, but I decided to use the Stampin' Still Plus and to stick these on so it wouldn't be quite as messy. So let's see, I'm going to start with this. Oops, I think I have to take this off first. All right. I'm going to stick. When you start, you want the fringes to be pretty much in line with the bottom. You want to cover it up, but not too much. Because when you stick the other piece on it, you don't want the fringe stuck under there. And then I'm just going to put another layer. And then we're going to do Fresh Freesia piece. And you can just kind of eyeball it. That's what I'm doing, to where I think it should go. Then the Calypso Coral piece. And then we'll start back with our Coastal Cabana. And then Fresh Freesia. And those of you who love the Fresh Freesia color as I do, and know that it's one of our outgoing in colors, will also be happy to know that it is coming back as a core color in the new catalog, and I'm so excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this last one. And I did 8 of these strips. That should be good. All right. Then what you'll want to do, and you can do this after too, but just kind of play with these fringes. You want to, you know, have them coming up so you can actually tell that it's fringes and not just pieces of paper sitting there. All right. So that's going to go just like that. Okay. So I'm going to actually put another strip there to go ahead and get that lined up how I want it. And actually, it might be good to go from the back side so you can kind of see where that hole is that you're trying to fill up. Line it up. There we go. And if you have anything hanging off the top, and I just have a little bit of the tape hanging off, and I'm not even sure if you can see that, but anyway, you can just cut that right off. And then again, I'm going to come through here with my fingers and pull these up. You could even stick little snips under there and pull them up. Of course, some of them will get smushed back down once you mail the card, but I just think it looks cute with the pieces sticking out. All right, so then, well, before we do that, we're going to go ahead and stamp the Spectacular in black, and then I did the Piñata goodies, I guess you can say, in all 3 different colors. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I use the Memento Black. I think I feel like I'm crooked there. Sorry about that. So I think I'm going to do that about right here. There we go. Perfect. And then we're going to do Coastal Cabana. And we'll do that. Let's see. I think I'll turn it around this way. Right there. All right. And clean that off. Don't forget to clean off in between, because believe me, I have done that before. And then let's do some Calypso Coral. Let's see, which way do I want to go with that? Let's do right there. Perfect. Clean it off again. And now we're going to do Fresh Bijou. And we'll do that right there. Awesome. Okay, for the Piñata, what I did is took a 3x3 piece of basic white, and I stamped the Piñata on there in Memento Black. And then I used my markers, Stampin' Right markers. I didn't use blends on this one. So I just used the Stampin' Up! Markers. And I like to use the bigger end a lot of times when I'm coloring. And you don't need to press down very hard at all. The color almost just takes to the paper so well. But if you press down too hard, it kind of will smear everything around. But get out of the lines and all those things that you don't want to happen. If you just barely touch it to the paper. And you don't have to use markers. If you have blends and you'd rather use those, you can do that. Or if you have watercolor pencils, those would be another great option. So yeah, there's many ways that you can color these in. I just chose to use the Stampin' markers. Stampin' and Write markers, I guess I should say. All right, I'm not going to color that whole thing and waste your time, but I did go ahead and do that ahead of time, and I cut it out using the layering circles, which also will be going away. So if you like these layering circles and you do not have them, you may want to check that out when the last chance list goes live on April 4th as well. I used the 2.5-inch circle here, and then the background piece of that is about 2 1/4. So cut that out ahead of time, and we're just going to glue those two pieces together. All right. It's just a tiny little background showing there. I just wanted it to have a little bit more color. All right, so then we're ready to glue this piece down. And you can see that this is kind of hanging, but once I glue it together, it'll all be down. Just want to make sure you get the edges good. Alrighty. And line that up. Oops, you know what? I have some of that tape on the back sticking before I'm ready for it to go down. Alrighty. There we go. And then the piñata, I used some dimensionals to pop him up, or her. All right. Sometimes I struggle with these a little bit. My fingernails. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna put this little cute little piñata right there in the corner. And there we go. There's the card. And again, if you want to pull some more of these up, now that you got your pieces on, you can do that. All right. There it is. I hope you enjoyed this card, and I hope it inspires you to go make your own, even if it's not with this particular stamp set, but maybe using this fringe technique to make your own card. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a blessed one. Bye.